What if Lionel Messi never left Barcelona? It's one of the biggest what-if questions in football history. In August 2021, millions of fans around the world watched in shock as Messi said goodbye to the club he had called home for over 20 years. But what if Barcelona had found a way to keep him? How different would football look today? To understand this alternate timeline, we first need to remember what really happened. Barcelona was facing one of the worst financial crises in its history. Massive debts, huge wage bills, and strict La Liga regulations made it impossible to register Messi's new contract. Despite Messi agreeing to take a significant pay cut, the club simply couldn't make the numbers work. As a result, the greatest player in Barcelona's history left for Paris Saint-Germain. But imagine a different scenario. Imagine Barcelona successfully restructures its finances. Several high-salary players leave earlier than expected, new sponsorship deals are secured, and La Liga approves Messi's registration. Suddenly, the announcement arrives: Lionel Messi signs a new contract with Barcelona. The reaction would be unbelievable. Camp Nou would erupt in celebration. Millions of fans would celebrate across the world. Social media would explode with excitement. For Barcelona supporters, it would feel like a second chance to continue the greatest partnership in football history. The 2021 season would immediately look different. Instead of rebuilding without Messi, Barcelona would build around him while introducing a new generation of stars. Young talents like Pedri, Gavi, Ronald Araujo, and Ansu Fati would continue learning from one of the greatest football minds ever. Pedri's development could accelerate even further. Gavi would gain invaluable experience playing alongside Messi every week. Frenkie de Jong would benefit from the extra space created by defenders focusing on stopping Messi. The entire team would grow faster under his leadership. Then came Xavi. In reality, Xavi returned to a club struggling to adapt after Messi's departure. In this alternate timeline, he inherits a squad still led by Messi. Suddenly, his tactical ideas become much easier to implement. Barcelona's possession-based style flourishes. The team regains confidence. Fans begin believing again. Barcelona would likely remain one of Europe's most exciting teams. Then comes the arrival of Robert Lewandowski in 2022. Now imagine that partnership. Lewandowski, one of the deadliest strikers in football history, receiving passes from Lionel Messi. Defenders would face an impossible challenge. Focus on Messi, and Lewandowski finds space. Focus on Lewandowski, and Messi controls the game. The combination could become one of the most dangerous attacking duos in modern football. The Champions League might also look very different. Following Messi's departure, Barcelona struggled in Europe. Group stage exits damaged the club's reputation and confidence. But with Messi still in the squad, deeper runs become much more likely. His experience in high-pressure matches would be invaluable. Young players would feel more confident, and opponents would approach Barcelona with greater caution. Would Barcelona win another Champions League? No one can know for sure. But their chances would certainly increase. Meanwhile, things in Paris would unfold differently. Without Messi, PSG never creates the famous attacking trio of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappé. The club may choose a different strategy, perhaps investing more in midfield or defense. Mbappé becomes the undisputed face of the project much earlier. Commercially, PSG loses one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. Shirt sales would be lower. Global attention would be reduced. The club would remain powerful, but perhaps not quite as influential. The effects would spread throughout football. La Liga would benefit enormously. Messi remaining in Spain would keep global interest high. Television ratings could increase. Sponsorship revenue could grow. The rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid would continue attracting massive worldwide audiences. Then comes perhaps the biggest question of all. What happens at the 2022 FIFA World Cup? Many people wonder whether Messi's move to PSG helped him prepare for the tournament. Others believe it made little difference. If Messi had remained in Barcelona, he would still enter the World Cup surrounded by a strong Argentina squad. He would still possess the same motivation, the same leadership, and the same dream of lifting football's greatest trophy. There's a very strong possibility that Argentina still wins the World Cup. Messi's performances in Qatar were driven by determination, experience, and incredible talent. Those qualities would remain regardless of which club he represented. Imagine the headlines. World Cup winner. Barcelona legend. Still wearing the famous blue and red shirt. It would be one of the greatest stories in football history. As the years pass, Messi enters the final stage of his career. Instead of moving between clubs, he continues building his legacy at Barcelona. Young players continue learning from him. Fans continue filling Camp Nou to watch their hero. Eventually, the day arrives when retirement becomes unavoidable. Barcelona announces Messi's final season. Every match becomes a celebration. Every stadium gives him a standing ovation. Every touch of the ball reminds fans that they are witnessing history. Then comes the farewell match. Camp Nou is packed. More than 90,000 supporters fill the stadium. Former teammates return from around the world. Banners cover the stands. Fans sing his name from the first minute to the last. When the final whistle blows, Messi stands alone in the center of the pitch. The crowd applauds. Teammates embrace him. Tears flow throughout the stadium. And for one final moment, football pauses to celebrate a player who changed the game forever. Would football history be different if Messi never left Barcelona? Almost certainly. Barcelona might have achieved greater success. PSG would have followed a different path. La Liga could have remained stronger. The Champions League might have produced different winners. But perhaps the biggest difference would be emotional. For millions of fans, Messi retiring at Barcelona would feel like the perfect ending to a beautiful story. A story that began with a young boy from Rosario. A story that grew into one of the greatest careers football has ever seen. And a story that, in another timeline, never needed a goodbye. Because sometimes the most fascinating question in football isn't what happened. It's what could have been.